out of New York City. It's the coffee hour. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful, wonderful Friday morning. TGIF. Couldn't wait to get here for this time. Thank you so much for being along with us. And just in case, by the way, you're the first time visiting us, well, we're here every Friday morning at this particular time, 10 a.m. Eastern. Always check your time. It's always Eastern over here. And we're here for a whole hour every Friday, sipping coffee and having a good time and just chewing the fat together. That's what we do. It's a whole lot of fun, and I think you'll like it. So stay with us for the whole hour. Now, those of you who get the coffee breaks about for 15 minutes on the job, if you're on the job and you only get 15-minute coffee break, well, let me suggest something to you. Take that 15 minutes that they give to you every day and take time to stay at your desk for 15 minutes, drink your coffee, and watch the show at the same time. You could possibly watch it for an hour. And when your 15 minutes is up, then you could still be at your desk. And if you're good at multitasking, then possibly you can watch the show and do your work at the same time. So we invite you to stay with us. And we want to say hello to all of you guys who are coming in. We want to say friendly hello to everyone in Facebook land, everybody out in Facebook. Thank you guys for joining us. And I see you guys, YouTube watchers. We're all here together. So we simulcast each week between Facebook and YouTube. So glad to have you along. Later on in the program, we're going to have our 2020 feature, which will feature Brian Camp at 20 past the hour with the latest developments in today's world of sports. That's Sports Update. And DJ Pete 22 the hour, and he'll bring you entertainment news. Of course, we recite all of those birthdays of all of the people of notoriety that are celebrating this week. And then all of that together, and you and I, if you have anything to say, come on and don't be shy. You need no alibi. Thank you so much for joining us. And by the way, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee, right? So, excuse me while I shoot up. Oh boy, can't beat it. That's the first Joel of the day. Okay, listen, as we always start the show every week, by a little hand clap, right? We do that, right? Those of you who've been around with us since the beginning and since this pandemic, you already know why I do that hand clap. For the benefit of you people, you guys in Facebook, you guys in YouTube, for the benefit of you guys who are just joining us for the very first time, well, we do that only because we applaud our doctors, nurses, and all hospital employees who have been with us since this pandemic began. All of the first responders, like the firefighters, police officers who helped out, pitched in, and everybody helped. And the beginning of the pandemic of last year, when we started last year, it was terrible. It was terrible. Things are starting to look up. However, I understand we've got another spike, another surge coming along. Another surge is coming along. And so with that in mind, we are going to have to hunker down and put our shoulder to the wheel and try to defeat that. All right, because the only reason why that surge is coming in because there are certain people who are not on board yet, who don't wear their mask, who don't practice 6 feet distance, and who don't wash their hands on a regular basis for 20 seconds. It only takes 20 seconds. Carry your sanitizers. And I did say wear the face mask, which looks like this. And you have all kinds of face masks. A lot of people are buying different kinds, designer ones too. But this is your standard one. And they're very easy to wear. These loops here go around your ear, right? And you can call them face masks or face coverings, whatever you want to call them. Just make sure that you use them. They're very important, and it could save your life. It could help you out and help you and the people that are around you to stay safe. And all of that in mind, if you haven't taken your vaccination yet, if it's available to you, then I urge you to do that. I took mine, and I'm completely vaccinated. I took the second dose last week. And so, but still, even though I took the second dose and I'm fully vaccinated, I will still continue to follow all of those protocols, as I already mentioned to you, all of the mask wearing, and the washing your hands, sanitizer, and staying 6 feet away. You know, it's nothing personal. It's that just something that we have to do until we get over that. Now, if we do all of that, and everyone else who haven't been on board all of this time, and you finally get on board, if you could do all of that, we could defeat all of that. We can do that. So please, ladies and gentlemen, do that. It's very simple, and it doesn't cost you anything. Now, I understand. I understand the fact that it could be uncomfortable sometimes. I'll admit that. I'll admit that. Just slightly uncomfortable, but it's worth it. And so please do that. And those of you who haven't gotten vaccinated yet, always plan to make sure that you go to the nearest center nearest you to get tested. Now, the test is very easy. It only takes 5 seconds once you get into that office. It takes 5 seconds. You're in, you're out. You know, and it doesn't cost you. It's slightly uncomfortable, but like I said, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth your health. So please keep that in mind. Now, if you look up there in my subject area, you'll see that we have information for you. You see up there where it says have the name of the show, the coffee hour, today's date. Underneath that, I have my personal information, like my email address and my telephone number, which you're welcome to use if you want to get in touch with me to have any suggestions and ideas about the show, or maybe even just to say hi. I read them all. And underneath that, you have COVID-19. This is a COVID-19 test, right? And next to that, or under that, however you're looking at it, it has a telephone number. And those of you who are watching on YouTube, go to the chat area where you are, the chat area, way at the top. That's the very beginning. You'll see all of that information up there, the same information that the people here on YouTube have. So please, 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 please do that. And so when you go, you'll see the information. That number that I give is a 718 number, right? 718 number. And I display that number every week because I want you to have it. Now, it'll give you kind of a roadmap. It'll let you know, where to go to take the test. It gives you information on questions that you may have about COVID-19. It'll also tell you information on where to go to actually get vaccinated nearest you. They have all of that information. Now, I'm pretty sure in conjunction with the number there that you see, I'm pretty sure there are more numbers, and probably you have your own local number. You could use that, but I just figure I just throw that number out there. And if you do that, that would be great. All you have to do is just tell them where you live and your zip code, and it can tell you the place near the center nearest you where you can get the test, or tell you where to get vaccinated. Okay. And those of you who live in New York, we're broken down here in the city here. I live in New York here. So we are broken down with five boroughs. We have Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, right? All of those boroughs, right? Of course, all of the other outer boroughs out of Manhattan, all of that, out in Long Island, all of that. You don't even have to travel too far to find out where to get vaccinated or where to get the test. Like I said, call that number. And New York City, call that 311 number. That's the number, 311. That's the number that you can get all kinds of information about New York City, places to go, people to see, things to do, all of that. And I'm pretty sure with that, you can find out the nearest center nearest you to get vaccinated, whether it's a pharmacy or your doctor, all of that information. It also gives you information on I guess, restaurants, bars, wherever you want to go, And of course, like I said, if you have like a certain problem in your area, wherever you are, like a pothole in the street, you can report that. That's a reporting number too. Just call that number 311 and you can report whatever problems that you have. If you see something unusual, you can report that. They'll take the location and they'll get somebody out there to do that. So that's the way that stands. So ladies and gentlemen, please do that. I want to say hello to everybody who are coming in. Warren just walked in. Good morning to you, Warren. Received a second dose this week. He received his second dose. He's out of New York. He's out of Brooklyn, and he received it at Medgar Evers College. And it was very organized, he says. So see, take a tip from Warren. He received his second dose. He's fully vaccinated. But Warren, remember, continue to wear your mask. Keep the 6 feet distance away from everyone. And good morning to DJ Pete. He's out there as well. DJ Pete left me a weather forecast, and I am going to read that right now. Out of Portland, Maine, he's got sunny skies and it's 55 degrees. He has low temperatures tonight, 43 degrees, and partly clear during the overnight. So that's what's happening out in Portland, Maine. DJ Pete will be here, as I said, 20 to the hour with his information on entertainment. Brian will be here in just a few minutes, at about 10 minutes away from now, with sports update, the latest developments in today's world of sports. He's out there right now, and let's see. So there you go. So those of you who are coming in, wherever you are, please give us your weather forecast too. Wherever you are. If you're in New York, don't worry about it, because I'm going to give you the weather forecast here in New York right now, and I'll tell you what we have. We have 52 degrees at the moment. And it's going to be kind of warm. We had warm days here in New York. Like yesterday was nice. We don't have any sun, but it looks like the sun is trying to break out. But this is overall how it sounds. It's going to be mostly cloudy today. Cloudy skies, high 59 degrees. Winds will be south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, cloudy skies with some showers later on up until midnight. After midnight, we'll have low temperatures, 50 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain will be only 40%. Tomorrow for Saturday, rain showers early with overcast skies later in the day. We'll have high 62 degrees and winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain, again, only 40%. So who knows? That's a low percentage. 55 degrees for tomorrow, cloudy skies. That's for tomorrow, for Saturday. No, not Saturday night, right? Saturday night. It will be 55 degrees for the low and cloudy with occasional showers, light, and let's see, we'll have light rain. Have a low 55, as I said. Winds will be light and variable. And chance of rain, well, it gets a little better, 60%. Right now, repeating our current temperature here in New York City, it's 52 degrees and it's cloudy at the moment. And more people are coming in. And I just want to say hi to all of you guys who are in with us. And let me take another shot. I took my dose, my second dose already. This is my first dose of the day of this stuff. It's coffee. Believe me when I tell you, it's coffee. That's all. It's just coffee. And if you believe that, I'm going to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. No, really, it is coffee. Okay. The big news, as you heard, you probably woke up this morning. The big news is that out of England, in the UK, Prince Philip passed away at the age of 99 years old. So our family, our condolences go out to the royal family. But he lived a long life. He was sick for a long time. He was in a hospital, and so he just passed away. I believe. I guess UK is 5 minutes away ahead of us. So it's, let's see, we're after 10 o'clock here in New York. So it's afternoon in the UK. So I would imagine that this morning he passed away. We woke up to the news this morning here on the East Coast. So that's the news. That's what's happening right now. Okay. Well, we've got a little misty in here today. Okay. So right now, your time right now is 14 minutes after the hour. That's where we are right now. And those of you who are just coming in, I see more people are coming in. So I just want to wave to you guys. Hello. Kiss. Yeah. All of that. Just want to wave to you guys and say howdy, 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 howdy. And a lot of you guys, you come in late, but that's okay, just as long as you get here. And we'll talk about a lot of other things as we go through the show. Okay, so what is your pleasure for the weekend? What is your pleasure for the weekend? How are you going to spend? Oh, by the way, before I even talk about that weekend, we were talking about the COVID-19. There's something that I neglect to give out that I should give out right now. But this is for New York City residents only. This is a website for you to get vaccinated. If you need vaccination, this is where you go. Here's a website for you. It's called nycvaccinationlist.com. It's simple to remember. That's NYC vaccination. No, I'm sorry, vaccination. Let me repeat that again. Get it right. Scratch what I just said. It's new. It's NYC vaccine. That's vaccine. NYCvaccinelist.com. All right. I read that wrong the first time. I want to get it right. I want to make sure you go to the right place. NYC Vaccine List, LIST, list.com. And if you go to that website, it gives you information on where to go and to get your test. All you have to do is a little question they'll ask you, what's your zip code, and they'll give you that, and they'll tell you nearest you. But you have to make an appointment to get vaccinated. You already know that, right? People are doing that. So Warren is saying, let's go Nets. He's rooting for the Nets. I'm talking about the basketball team. Let's go Nets. He's rooting for the Nets. So we'll see what's happening. When is that game being played on? Huh? The Nets, when do they play? Kind of lost track of that. Forget about it. Brian will tell us. Because he'll come here in just a few minutes with the latest developments in today's world of sports. So he'll give all of that information, and it's all coming up. What I thought about the other day, maybe some of you guys can help me out because I haven't heard any more. What's the progress? I understand he's doing well, but I was just yesterday, I was thinking about Tiger Woods. I understand that he's doing well, but they're not saying any more about it. And I'm just wondering what if he's home or not, or, what's happening. They were supposed to investigate, what happened in a car accident, how it happened, why it happened. But I haven't heard any more. So you guys are wiser than I am. So you guys probably know more about it. If you know anything about it, if you know the latest on that, let me know. And that would be great. Okay. Okay. So I see more people are coming in. They're all coming in. I like that, all coming in. If you were on our radio show last night, we had a lot of great conversations, and I always salute it. And I'll do it right now, as a matter of fact. Always say hello. And to my brothers and sisters, my Asian American brothers and sisters who are going through a bad time right now, we already know what that is. I don't have to repeat myself about that. All I have to say is, why can't we get along and why can't we love each other? And I just want to say to my Asian brothers and sisters, Asian American brothers and sisters, I'm with you. I'm all with you all the way, solid as a rock. Also, I want to send all of my regards out to the Floyd family, the family of George Floyd. As you already know, the trial is in session, right? We're into the 10th day. Today's the 10th day of it. And I pray, I hope, and I pray for the progress, and that the family of George Floyd get justice. And I've been following the trial as much as I could. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like it's just so long. You have to wait for it. It's so long. And excuse me for 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. I just want to take a quick bounce over here. All right. Okay. I just had to grab something over here. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Yeah, it just takes so long. It takes so long, and it's like the old. Do you remember the O.J. trial? It was like O.J. Simpson trial. Remember, something like that. It just takes so long. But I'm still hoping that everything is going to be fine with the family, and they do get the justice that they deserve. I hope and pray that does happen. Warren just answered the question for me. Well, Brian did too. Doing well, can't complain. Oh, that's something. He's answering someone else. Warren just said it's excessive speed. That's what it was. Excessive speed. And as we all looked at the channel, and you looked at the where he was driving, they say it was like a steep hill, going up, going down. I don't know. I wasn't there. You can't really tell unless you were there in person. you had to really know about it. Unless you were there in person, you couldn't see exactly what would cause it. As I look at it, I say, yeah, how could something like that happen? They said something about a sharp turn. When they showed the footage on all of that, I didn't see anything about a sharp turn. But, as I said, I wasn't there. But Warren says excessive speed. So that's where it is. Thanks a lot, Warren. Okay, so we'll talk more. We'll talk more about the trial. And those of you who want to chime in on that trial, you tell me what you think. Just tell me what you think. And let's see what happens. The trial goes on and on today. I think they start the session. As far as I know, they'll start it in a few. If they didn't start it just yet, but they'll start. They have a lot of witnesses on that stand, and I got to see a real qualified doctor was on the stand yesterday by the name of Martin Tobin, and he was a very smart doctor. He had this guy was so precise. He was so precise on that stand. I mean, he had an answer for everything. It wasn't like, no stuttering or anything. It was like if someone asked him the question, it was right there. He had the answer right there. And so more witnesses are coming along, a lot more. So we don't know how long this trial is going to be. It could take days, a few more days. But I'm assuming it'll take more weeks, a couple more weeks or so. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we go to Charlotte, North Carolina right now, and Brian Camp is on the line with the latest developments in today's world of sports. It's your show. Is he there?
Yeah, I can't. I'm here. You just sound muffled a little bit.
Oh.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to Warren. Good morning to Pete. Good morning to everybody else who else is out there. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina. 66 degrees, going up to 81. It's going to be partly sunny, partly cloudy. Pick your choice. I still don't know the difference between partly sunny and partly cloudy, but you get the idea. The Tiger Woods, I was reading on, looking at the sports on ESPN this morning. They came out with a 22-page report on Tiger Woods. Yeah, Warren, you're right. He was driving 84 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone, and they recovered some empty bottles of drugs, prescription drugs. They're saying that he fell asleep behind the wheel, and when he came to this, he thought he was in his home state of Florida, where he resides, but he had the accident in Los Angeles. So, we don't know if it was an overdose. I don't know. We don't know. I don't have the 22-page report. There's coming out with some things about 22-page report, but that's where we stand right now. So, continue prayers go out with him, and he was speeding. Excessive speed.
But this would be the second. This would be the second time that he had fell asleep behind the wheel. Would be the second time.
Well, you got to understand. He's been taking a lot of painkillers. He's been having numerous back surgeries and knee surgeries, and I'm just guessing that that had contributed to it. When you have these amount of surgeries and things like that, it takes its toll. It's really bad. I mean, look how many entertainers was taking a lot of painkillers. Michael Jackson, Prince, significant people, Elvis Presley, name a few and everything. So we're not in that situation. Thank God that we're not in that situation. But we just hope that he recovers well. That's more important. The Masters is this weekend. That's the big tournament for golf, and so I'm pretty sure he's watching right now. But let me get to the sports. In the NFL, 22 civil cases are filed against Houston Texans Deshaun Watson. This is getting uglier by the moment. Before all of this year, he wanted to be traded. Nobody came forth. Nobody said anything. Now that he wants to be traded, now all these cases about him getting a massage and making inappropriate advances to women, forcing them for oral sex. He denied it, and Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, filed motions for emergency hearings on the civil lawsuits against Watson, asking the judge to rule the lawsuits filed against Watson to have these women come forth. When they asked the lawyer for the other side, Tony Busby, to identify the clients, he refused. And Rusty Hardin had to file a motion, so he, to bring it to court. Now, in light of this, all of this is still alleged, but Nike has suspended his sponsorship deal. In addition, Beats by Dre, that's the headphones that everybody wearing in the streets, has reported severe their ties. And Watson was also dropped by the brand ambassador by Reliant Energy. So, it's his word against theirs. So, not one criminal charge has been made. That's another thing. Not one criminal charge has been made. But 22, so two people filed charges on the civil case. So we're going to see what happens. In hockey, the NHL is hoping that the Vancouver Canucks can return to the ice next week after 25 players and coaches have tested positive for COVID-19. Many infected players that were asymptomatic, including some that had fatigue, body aches, chills, and dehydration. At least one player required to have an IV last weekend. So, ESPN and analyst Paul Pierce, after he posted a racy Instagram video over last weekend, was let go by ESPN on this past Monday. The video featured Pierce in a room with the exotic dancers. Wow. Pierce was an analyst at ESPN, multiple NBA shows that include The Jump and the pregame show called NBA Countdown. Pierce, who went by the nickname The Truth, won an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics in 2008 and was the Finals MVP. Pierce joined the ESPN network before the 2017-2018 season. And the video shows no masks were being worn or follow COVID-19 protocols set up by ESPN. So, congratulations to the women's Stanford Cardinals for winning the national championship, and the men's Baylor Bearcats, who won the men's early this week. So congratulations to them. Got some news about what we talked about last week about Major League Baseball, why the game was being removed from Atlanta. Is going to be now moved to Colorado, where the Colorado Rockies play. They will host the 2021 All-Star Game. It would be the 91st Midsummer Classic. It was originally had been played in Atlanta, home of the Atlanta Braves, but in response to New Georgia laws that has the civil rights groups concerned about the potential to restrict voting access for people of color. The 2021 Major League Baseball draft is a new addition to the All-Star Game festivities this year. Will also be relocated. Has not been determined where that would be. Major League Baseball fundamentally supports voting rights for all Americans and opposes restrictions to the ballot box. In 2020, the Major League Baseball became the first professional sports league to join the nonpartisan civic alliances to help build a future in which everyone participates in shaping the U.S. The player alliances consist of more than 100 current and former players who have united in an effort to empower Black community. So the White House, President Joe Biden, supports this as well on this decision. Now, experts in government and all over have said that they agree that Republican Governor Brian Kemp, K-E-M-P, signed a bill that would make it harder for people of color to vote just because they tend to vote for Democrats. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred states, fair access to voting continues to have our game's unwavering support. So, it is what it is. It is a way to, stop minorities or people of color from voting in certain states. You got to understand something. This past election, Georgia has always been a red state for the Republicans, and they lost to the Democrats. So times are changing as people refuse to, want change. And I hate to mix sports with politics, but this is where we are in a country right now, where we just have to mix politics with sports. And whether it's the last administration that was involved in sports to this administration is involved, there are people that just don't want change. And if you think about our history in this country, where everybody came over, Ellis Allan in the early 1900s, the Italians and the Irish and the Polish, and all came over. They were all mistreated at first when they got here. And the Latinos, they came over here. Everybody came over here. The only true Americans are the Native Americans. They are the true Americans. What if they decided to say everybody get kicked out? But unfortunately, history changes course, and we're at a place now where there's a lot of tension.
What if the Native Americans came in and said that means I would have to leave, you would have to leave, all of us would have to leave.
Well, that's true, but we all suffer again in this country.
Yeah.
The Holocaust, slavery. I can go on and on, but the difference with African Americans, and I'm not saying that we're special, we're all special, but we came here unwillingly. So, that's where we are right now. So, but we are here to make the best of it. This is the land of opportunity. It's the greatest country on the planet. But why can't we just get along?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Last night we mentioned on the radio show, about the move from Atlanta for the All-Star game, the baseball All-Star game. And I mentioned last night on the air that it would have been a great tribute if they stayed there in Atlanta. However, I understand why they left. I do understand why they left. But if someone didn't drop the ball or screw it up, they could have still played in Atlanta, and that would have been a great tribute to the late Hank Aaron.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
It would have been a perfect memorial for him. I'm pretty sure they would have done something.
Yeah.
For the All-Star game, or for the pregame show.
I envision that if they played in Atlanta, and every player on each team wear the number 44.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
That would have been great.
Not only was he a great baseball player, he was a great individual.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But before I go, and I want to say our prayers to rapper DMX. He's on life support. I know some people have him dead already, but he's not dead yet. TMZ, does anybody declare anybody dead? It's TMZ. TMZ has reported that he's on life support, and it doesn't look well for the rapper DMX.
Okay. Good news. Okay. All right, Brian, thanks a lot for the entertainment, the sports, and we'll see you back here next week.
Enjoy. Take care.
Have a good weekend. Okay, that was Brian Kemp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. All sports update all the time, each week, and it can only be heard right here on the Coffee Hour. If you're just joining us, I want to say hi. You guys are just joining us. See more people coming in, so I just want to say hi and thank you for joining us. And just in case you're just joining us for the very first time, it is the Coffee Hour. We're here every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And if this is your first time, don't make it your last time. The Coffee Hour. We drink coffee here too. Okay, so I wanted to go back more to DJ Pete, by the way. Brian just wrapped up his 2020 part of the feature. And DJ Pete comes on 22 the hour with his portion of the 2020 feature. He'll have the entertainment news and recite all of those birthdays of people of notoriety in our business today. want to go back and talk about that trial. I'm staying on top of it as much as I can. Remember the first 4 days or the first 5 days, I I missed very little of it. I missed very little of it. But as the next week came along, things started to happen. I get a little busy. I got to go out. I got to do this. I have to do that. So you don't really can't keep up. But thank God at night you could always turn on and get highlights from what's been going on. And me watching it on CNN, I usually turn into Don Lemon and watch his show, and Chris Cuomo and watch his show, and the other CNN host, and they give updates and they backtrack on what happened during the course of the day, and that kind of brings me up to date around everything. Because sometimes it's not always possible. I'm pretty sure even you and everyone else who keep up with the trial, didn't watch every moment of it. That's impossible. I mean, it goes on all day from sun up to sundown, and you don't have time to check it out, but you always get the highlights. And so it's news that we don't hear about. It's dominating the airwaves, and I'm glad to hear other news than to hear about the other news, because I know they just talk about the break-in of the Capitol, which is very important to know, but we know all about that. And so that news is kind of put on the back burner. I'm pretty sure they'll get back into it as things go on. But right now, the most important thing is this trial, and they want to keep up with it. Listen, guys, have you ever checked out my podcast? I have a podcast called The Blue Cafe. And The Blue Cafe is an interview show where I get to talk to people of newsmakers and people of entertainment. I get to talk to all of those people. And my latest guest on the Blue Cafe, I just recorded the show this past Tuesday, as a matter of fact. I just released it Wednesday. Bobby Rydell, he was my guest. Bobby Rydell was one of the teen idols back in the 60s. And we had a chance to talk to him, had a whole hour of him. Very nice guy. We talked about a lot of things, his career. He has a very interesting story to tell. And you can go there and check it out. But do it after the show. And you can go to, if you look up in the area, the subject area, and for those of you on YouTube, go in the chat area. At the very top, you'll see the information down there at the very bottom, and it says the Blue Cafe. And underneath the Blue Cafe, you have a link that will take you directly to that website, and you'll see the interview. The very top interview is the one with Bobby Rydell, and I had other interviews too. I had one with Jimmy Clanton, that's underneath that, and then I had one with Bobby Wilson, the son of Jackie Wilson. They're all three of them there. But the latest one that I want you to check out is the one with Bobby Rydell. That's there, and it's a whole lot of fun. So check it out. Go there, hit the link, go there after the show. You can check it out. You have all weekend long to do it, and then it'll be up there for a long time. So if you missed even the Jimmy Clanton interview or the Bobby Wilson interview, it's still there. It's still there. So as we go along, it'll mount up, and then, till the website runs out of space and you have to exclude one. But you get the idea. You get the idea. I think you're going to like this interview. So I had fun doing it. And he's a very nice guy. And we had a conversation after the show. And I said to him, and I was just joking when I said it. And I said to him, I said, you know what? I am going to get, because he hangs out when he does this show. He's an act by himself, but he does this show with Frankie Avalon and Fabian. His friends from way back when he was growing up. They all grew up together, and they have a group called the Golden Boy. The three of them together, the Golden Boys, and they get out there on stage and they sing together and they have a lot of fun. And I was joking with him. I said, Bobby, I am next guy I'm going to get on the show. I'm going to get Frankie Avalon on the show, and then I'm going to get Fabian on the show. This way I can say I talked to all of you guys. And then after all of that's over, when the pandemic is over and the air is clear, I am going to get you guys all together. Maybe we can do like a three-way thing on Zoom or something, and broadcast it later on, and have the Golden Boys on there, all three of you guys. And he said, that would be great. And I was only joking. So I said, okay, well, I was joking. He says, no, he says that would be great if we can do that. So we're gonna work on that. That's gonna be a while before that happens. We've got other people too to interview. We're gonna be talking about them when all that comes around. So again, let's see. Let's 20 to the hour right now. It's 20 to the hour. DJ Pete will be here for in a few seconds. But those of you who are just walking in here, thank you so much for being along with us. And stay with us. We'll be here for the next 20 minutes as well. And we'll have more coffee together. We'll, shoot the breeze and talk about a whole lot of things right here on the coffee hour. And just in case you don't know, we're here every Friday at this time between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern. And check your time from wherever you are. If you're in another time zone, of course, if you know that we're Eastern, your time zone, you will be 2 hours ahead of us, 3 hours ahead of us. If you're on the West Coast, you get the idea. And then we have people who come in, from other parts of the country or parts of the world, and we're happy about it. And tell your friends too. Tell your friends. And of course, we want to thank all of you guys on YouTube for joining us once again too. And I invite you to tell all your friends. And you guys on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to us. All right. So this way, whenever we pop up, you know that we're on, and when we post things like that, that you'll get that information, and it'll tell you all about it. And we'll be glad to